Anthony Brian Logan and Brandon Tatum are two conservative pundits. They are black conservatives and they deal with a lot of social issues. And I've noticed something about them recently, especially concerning posts that they, videos that they put out within days of each other. They share a brain. It's not entirely accurate. They don't share a whole brain. They share somewhat less than half a brain. Welcome to Escaping the Echo Chamber. Yes, Brandon Tatum, I've talked about him and I talked about his review of the CPAC panel, his panicked review. It's basically is his way begging the big money, the donors, the people that run the Republican Party not to fire the likes of him and Candace Owens and to ignore the black conservatives that actually care about black people. Anthony Brian Logan is cut out of the same cloth as Brandon Tatum, and his grift, much like Brandon Tatum, is to tell white conservatives, basically just tell them whatever they want to hear. And, nothing you ever do is wrong. And I'm going to borrow a phrase from Larry Sharp that I just heard today. It's an awesome phrase. Their their main thought at the end of the day is black man bad. That's the narrative that they sell, and it's their way of just making white conservatives feel nice and fuzzy that nothing you do is wrong, nothing is ever your problem, and the problem of all of the world's, all of the America's problems are black man bad. Just look what Candace is doing with Cardi B. She's claiming that Cardi B's WAP is responsible for the degradation of American society, despite the fact that the man she voted for, was waving pom-poms for, is a serial philanderer, a serial adulterer, and, paid off a porn star to be quiet while he was after he cheated on her while he was married to his wife. I think she had just given birth or something. But it's Cardi B's fault because that's the message they sell. Black men bad. But the thing about Candace Owens is actually articulate. So somebody like T.I. once said, yeah, you're intelligent and I want to like you. But I'm not certain. The jury's still out on how intelligent Candace Owens is. She's clearly light years more intelligent than Brandon Tatum and Anthony Brian Logan. These two are dumb as hell. And like I said, they don't share a brain. They share like less than half a brain. Put these two morons together and you still don't have a cogent thought. It's really sad. They recently came out with posts with separate issues. Like they had to have been, they had to have conferred, called each other up on the phone. Like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I want you to do something else, but we can use different stories to make it look like these were original thoughts that we came up with. And maybe somebody else told them to do this, because that's even, because like I said, these two are some dummies. So let's start with Brandon Tatum's story. He comes out with using the shooting in Queens. There was a police officer involved shooting where they were responding to a domestic violence call, were escorting the woman to, get some stuff and, I guess get out. And the person, her husband, came with a gun, shot the cops, but was ultimately, he shot, they didn't die. They were able to shoot back and they killed him. Brandon Tatum's take on this is why defund the police is a bad idea, because social workers would have been dead at this call. And I'm like, you idiot. Why would a social worker be responding to that call? Because in the entire concept of defund the police, it's not that social workers will now be responding to bank robberies. You're a dummy if you think that. But it shows he's either just, he's not either. He's both stupid and disingenuous. So he's stupid enough to try to portray like that's a call that the social worker would be responding to. Not like, oh, my son is having a mental health emergency. His medication isn't working. Oh, okay. Does he have any episodes of violence? No, he has no episodes of violence. He's just in a really bad place, and I want to get him some help. Boom. Social worker responds. Not my armed husband, who I have a restraining order from, who I am trying to get away from, who I'm worried might be in the house and armed. Please escort me. That's not the call that the social worker is going to. But this dummy is goes ahead, does this video, and like pats himself on the back afterwards because he thinks he has solved the mystery of why defund the police is a bad idea. He's a moron. But not to be outdone, his partner in stupidity, Anthony Brian Logan, decides, I'm going to do the same thing about a different story. So in his story, there's a woman who's in her boyfriend's car, and he has multiple warrants out on him. The cop runs the car, realizes that there are multiple warrants, goes to the car to see what's going on. Ultimately, long story short, she winds up shooting the cop. Once again, Anthony Brian Logan decides, see, a social worker wouldn't have been killed. Social worker wouldn't be able to handle that. A social worker wouldn't be running warrants, you brain dead morons. Like, at least come up with stories that would fit the purview of a social worker responding to. A social worker is not going to be running warrants and saying, hey, I'm going to go check out where this guy is. I'm going to see if the whereabouts of this person who is going to be arrested because he's basically on the run. How dumb can you be? But this is what both of these this is the best these idiots could offer. Like Candace, seriously, like find somebody with like half a brain, please. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing, and maybe that's why some people like them, because they make them feel smart. Because these dudes are dummies. These dudes are absolute fools. They come up with stories to which, even if defund the police actually happened, social workers would not be responding to either of those two calls. And then you ignore the fact that, guess what? Social workers, psychologists, psychiatrists actually respond to dangerous situations in prisons and mental hospitals. They do it every day. Like, this is not a novel, a completely out of this world idea. This actually exists in the real world. In prisons, when people are having mental health crises, guess who's available? Especially certain type of prisons, certain mental hospitals, certain types of prisons and mental hospitals, where they have significant numbers of mental health professionals on site to respond to certain types of emergencies. So when people are having mental health emergencies, when people are having suicidal ideation, guess who responds? Yes, but of course, these dummies are bootlicking morons that have, like, not only do they have no intelligence, they have no knowledge of policy. And that it begins to become evident that that's why they're actually scared. Another reason why they're scared of other conservatives who not just like black people, but who actually have brains, who actually know conservatism, who actually have policy ideas and solutions with them. Because all these dudes do is whine about the culture war all day long. No solutions, just bootlicking culture warriors, and they're dumb as hell. So if you're gonna, Candace, listen, just listen. I'm not your business manager. I'm not your your chief grifting consultant. But please, it's embarrassing. Get a smarter team. Just like, there's got to be somebody that's willing to grift, that's smarter than these two guys. That's smarter than, I know ABL isn't on your team yet, but come on, you got to get somebody smarter, because these two dummies, they're embarrassing. It's really sad. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you next time.